Great. If you made it to this point, you have become more knowledgeable about real estate than 80% of the world. Congratulations, and thank you for staying through all this way. We have done definition about real estate. I told you what real estate is supposed to be, at least. Then we've done groceries, not groceries, grocery, words and definitions in real estate, okay? We've also done the industry, the various parties that play in the real estate industry. Then we've done the economy of real estate, the issues or determinants, okay, or factors that affect real estate, the price and the profitability, and why you should invest in real estate, where we were arguing and defending the claim that real estate is about location. Then we've done the job opportunities in real estate as well under that part. Then we've done determinants of value, what would have cost real estate, I think I've said that, to actually price more or make more profit. So now we are going to move to the sixth, okay, the sixth element, how we make money in real estate, okay? Is that like something to say? Usually when we are doing entrepreneurship and business, we are told it's not about money, give value. It's not about money, give value. But if you don't gain revenue, okay, you are going to be frustrated. So you certainly need revenue. So let's say revenue, okay, either models or sources. So let's say sources, okay, in real estate, okay. So maybe by this point you have decided to be a developer, you have decided to be an investor, you have made your decisions, okay. The organic way of getting paid for your work might be there, but these are the things you can look into. There can be a few more. You can probably tell us in the comments, okay, but I'll just put you this and then we see. The first one is flipping, okay. This is what I used to watch a lot of videos about real estate, usually in the US. This is what is being taught, okay. The banking sector and the act of flipping properties. Now, the act of flipping property is simple. With this, you don't have to be a big developer. You see a property, it doesn't cost too much. You buy it, then you probably renovate it or spec it up, okay, polish it up, and then sell it for some profit. It's a good business, okay. I've had an experience where people say if they can't buy it and sell it for more, then the price is too expensive. That's not true. I am here to make the money from flipping. You can't buy my premium property and quickly make some money from flipping. So when you are doing flipping, you need to either hold the property for some time that it appreciates in value, or you invest into speccing it up, okay. I believe this is in a lot of other industries, but this is what you do in real estate, okay. Or maybe the banks, they have a property, then they sell it to some other person at a profit. The way the banks may get it is maybe when there is a mortgage default or something like that, when it's being used for collateral. That will send us to the next thing. Let me just go to that as well. Collateral, okay. Collateral, or it can improve your credit, it can improve your net worth, okay. It can be used to build up the asset base. So it's another way that you can make money. When you have this, you can gain some kind of loans from the banks. You can get some credit facilities, okay. You can leverage it to do a lot of things. So it's a good thing. Then the next one is equity. Now, if you remember, I've mentioned equity. Equity is the part of something that is yours, okay. So if you have a real estate investment, you become a partaker of big business industries. For example, McDonald's make more money from the real estate than from the food business, because the food is a franchise, but his equity is more on what he gains from the rental opportunity that is that. So that takes us to number 4, rental, okay. Rental income, or usually equity holders get dividends, okay. So rental income feels like dividends of a business. Dividends, okay. Dividends is maybe the monthly or annual revenue you earn from an asset. You get me? So when you do these two, they are giving you some form of dividend. So it can actually become like your monthly cash flow or your annual cash flow, while the asset is still there making money from you, for you. You get me? So you can now have the fourth one would have been what? Financial management, no, facility management. Facility management, okay. In Ghana, we have Bro and Star Properties who are doing some very excellent facility management. If you have 120,000, no, if you have 120 units apartment, it's going to be difficult for you to manage it yourself, okay, with different owners and a lot of things moving in the back. So you need a facility manager who ensures that the light doesn't stop, the water doesn't stop flowing, the internet is working, the service is great, okay, plumbing problems are resolved, clients are happy. You need a facility manager, especially if you are doing it as a passive investment. You need a facility manager. So if you develop yourself in facility management, you can render this service for people. I do that. It's one of the ways I make money. I think I've actually made money through all the means here. But facility management is like one of my professional expertise because I'm a civil engineer. I can fix a lot of the things myself. I've worked as a facility manager for the company I've worked with, and Bro and Star Properties have done this really well. And I know some private people who are also doing great at it. So you can start up a facility management company, manage a facility for your uncle, manage a facility for other people. It can be really great, okay? Then the last one is the social amenities. This might not be the last one. There are a lot of other ways, but for the sake of this, if I remember anymore, I can put it. Social amenities, if you have like a swimming pool, clubhouse, okay, if you have like a sports complex in a real estate space, you can make some money from it, okay? Maybe even if you have all the other forms of real estate that I've stated, if you had like a restaurant, okay, the structure, if you build a restaurant structure, you either run it yourself or you rent it out to somebody and then you earn rent. Where did I write? A rental from it, okay? So you would have been providing some social amenity, a movie center, okay, clubhouse, bar, pub, and then be earning some revenue from the rent as people run it, or you can actually run the facility yourself, okay? So this is something you should actually look like. So these are all great, and if you're watching the video to this point, the bigger aim is probably to become a developer. Okay, so you are either doing one of these things or you are actually doing development, okay? Development, okay? Now, this is the thing about real estate. A lot of people think development when they think about real estate. That's why they might never be able to start real estate because it's very capital intensive. But maybe you have some money. Usually, you have done some other business, you've made some money, you've saved some money, the money is lying in the bank, it's only 10% per annum, and someone has advised you that do real estate, you can get 20% per annum, 30%. Sometimes they get ambitious, they say you can double your money in 1 year, which is almost true, but not very true. So if you want to double your money in 1 year, you have to do flipping. Okay, but what the other thing it does is that if you put your money into real estate, it's protected against inflation and currency crisis. That would have been what? Holding the assets and enjoying the appreciation of your real estate. Okay, so you would have bought the land which is appreciating now. To even make more money, you build a structure that is earning rent. Okay, it's a slow way to glory, but it's an exponential curve. Your earning will look like this. When we start working the numbers, I'll show you that it looks like this. Okay, so you start very small, not too interesting. Then after 10 years, you see that everything just skyrockets. Okay, so development is what a lot of people want. Okay, so we want to discuss what goes into setting up a real estate development company, because sometimes you can get desperate, sometimes you can get really rich. You have so much money, you think, oh, I'll just pay some agents to do this and that for me, and then I spend $70,000 to build it, I sell it for $100,000 and I am rich, and then nobody buys. So then what happens? So usually, if you want to become a developer, yes, there are the business development issues of registering a company, getting directors, and probably getting getting the land and all those stuff. They are nice, okay, everybody knows that, but I want to take you through the development process, what to go through when you are doing real estate. Okay, so usually it's conception. you have an idea, you believe that this is your calling, this is where the money is, and then you want to do real estate. So you have started talking to people. Some people have shown you land. They've shown you some 100 acres of land. You want to do a gated community. They've shown you some one plot. You want to put a dual, how is it called? A duplex on it, okay? So you have had a conception. You have to now go and do feasibility studies. Okay. This is where a lot of people fail. I can tell you about quite a lot of projects, if I don't want to say 50%, are not feasible. The projects are nice, fancy. The last part of this is going to be ghost towns and ghost cities, okay, and what causes them. We'll be dealing with that, so don't give up on this lecture. Stay true with me to the last class. But you realize that the people have a project that nobody will buy. If they had that money, they wouldn't buy. Okay, if you reduce the price, nobody they buy. The price is so high, or if people buy, they can't stay in there. Okay, or maybe they are busy selling, but they are not making profits. Okay, the business is not sustainable. So you can actually see feasibility and sustainability model, or they are damaging the world so badly. Okay, now the world is moving towards sustainability. You do a development, you cut off all the trees, you pave the whole yard. Okay, it has influenced the traffic conditions in the area. It's not yielding any good human sustainability impact. It's just become one big chaos. You don't want to do that, so you have to do sustainability studies. Now, when you do your sustainability studies, you want to start your execution. Okay, execution is a simple word that is usually run by project managers and those things. The problem people do here is that they do execution before they look for marketers. Okay, so let me say execution and marketing. Okay, because I am a marketer, I bargain or I campaign a lot for marketers, not so that I get a job. I don't necessarily need a job, but the challenge here is this: marketing should have been at the stage of conception. That's why I'm going to do a full marketing class after the first introduction, because if you cannot market your ideas, you can't sell, you can't make money. So usually the CEO needs to be a marketer, or someone who has a fair idea about marketing and sales, because that's what is holding the company. Then at the feasibility stage, you will do a marketing research, okay, to find out what is selling, why are people buying, where are they buying, what has changed, why did it change. You ask about whys. Okay, execution is about hows. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we get the land? How do we build? Marketing is about why are we doing it? Why are people doing those stuff? Okay, so you need to do the two interchangeably. I would have written even marketing before execution, but maybe the book says execution before marketing. Then the next one would have been now property management. Okay, now property management is here again. I told you it's a big management revenue opportunity in real estate. Okay, now I can say property management and customer relationship. Okay, customer relationship. Okay, now look at me. I'm a civil engineer. I've studied numbers, I've studied calculations, I've studied great strength of materials, concrete, infrastructures and those things. And I got to work with a development company. And then because I was on social media, I started doing marketing. Then I realized that we were having a tough time selling because of property management and customer relationship. If the user experience is not great, there is something they call in Volta Agobojo. You will shine for a short while. You will not be sustainable. You will not be feasible in the long term, because when people come, they can't stay. So property management is key. Okay, customer experience. Once the property is being managed well, there's a chance that customer experience will be great. The only thing that would have need to be added is the human element. Your receptionists, your marketers, how they communicate to people. So you need to be the one they talk to. Okay, you should always close big deals by yourself. as CEO of a real estate company. Don't leave things to chance. What if your guys are not picking the calls? What do you do? Okay, so customer relationship and property management needs to be really, really top notch. Once you do this, you can begin to get more ideas, conceive more ideas from the customers. The feasibility is already done here because you would have experienced it. You will listen to their questions, you listen to their pleas, then you just keep executing. So you realize that you begin to find yourself in the cycle of execution because this is doing feasibility for you. You already conceived the ideas or new ideas, so you just keep running the cycle, But if this is not great, you begin to forge products that are not feasible and try to force it onto people, and it hardly sells. So you need to really listen to your clients if you want to be in this business for long and make good money, because it gets to a point when you start selling $1 million, $2 million properties, you cannot sell it to someone you've never met before. That person must have been a former buyer who is so happy about the revenue he's making, who is so happy about the fact that his lights doesn't run out and the like. So it's a thing you really need to look at when you want to try this real estate thing. Read about it, research about it, study human psychology, finance and marketing, customer experience, HR. Sometimes even your staff. There was a time I really had to do a presentation about real estate and I was trying to say how staffs are the first customers of a company. If your staff don't have a good experience, your customers will certainly not have a good experience, because you will not have that total quality experience that the customers should have. So they keep fleeing. They don't come back. You don't have returning clients, okay, which is actually a customer. So think about that, research into that, be deliberate about that. See you in the next series or the next class. Thank you very much for staying through to this point. I appreciate your time. Subscribe, share it to people who are interested in this stuff, and comment likes up as we did in the last series if you've not done it, so that I'll send a personal message. You'll be on my contact list as well. Thank you very much. See you.